Yesterday I had the privilege of visiting Zach at their factory in Talent, Oregon. It's a beautiful day, nice and sunny. But he kind of led me through how the oars are assembled. And they start off as just raw blocks of wood on a pallet. They run them through a really high-end digital planer. And then from there they go to the gluing station where they build the laminate. You know, they stagger it and then glue it all together as a laminate. And then from there, it's taken over to a massive clamp carrier, and it's clamped down for at least overnight. And then the finished pieces are cut and then put on a huge lathe where they spin it up and do the initial shape of the shaft itself. And then once that's done, they glue on the two paddle sides, and then once that sits and solidifies, they run it through a planer to start shaping the paddle shape itself. Now I'm probably leaving a few things out here, and so I'm gonna let Zach fill us in on the rest of it.
Absolutely. So, you know, we were able to get a little bit of a glimpse of the manufacturing that goes on in the process of every oar being made. And so the main process that we got was kind of coming in from rough and getting shaped into an oar-like object. And then what we didn't really get a chance to partake with is the several hours of hand sanding and shaping that happens, where literally every oar is at the horizontal sander for long periods of time to get its actual profile. And then when it's in that wood phase, it also has to get the blade protected, and that happens with a tough edge process. So every oar goes to the tough edge. That has to cure, sits overnight, goes back to sanding again. Then what that usually has the oar leave the woodworking area, goes up into the composites area, gets an overwrap of either carbon or Dyno X material, and then back to sanding again. It has to get sanded, and then it really takes a profile of an actual oar blade. Then it goes to the glassing station, which is another area that we didn't get into. Then from there, glassing to tipping again, and into the varnish, which is where we do have, you got to film a little bit of the varnishing, then finishes out with rope wrap and into final assembly. So what many folks don't realize is that one square top oar takes about 3 weeks of production from coming in the back as raw wood to going out the front door in a finished oar.
I also had the pleasure of visiting the Sawyer station, which is in Gold Hill, Oregon, just 20 minutes up the road north from Talent. Not only do they push water with drift boat oars, they also have paddles for all kinds of different watercraft.
We basically make a paddle or an oar for almost everything human-powered on water. And so that's really the beauty of visiting our brick and mortar and pretty much brick and mortar stores all around the country, is that brick and mortar stores, a lot of times you will find way more product than what you're going to see on just their online presence. So with us, for instance, if you come in, we have a full line of kayak paddles for whitewater kayaking, recreational touring kayaking. We have a full line of stand-up paddleboard paddles from wood to fiberglass, and just a full variety. And then of course, we have several wooden canoe paddles, which is really signature of Sawyer. This beauty here is a dual bend manta, which is pretty much known throughout the canoe industry, especially if you're back east, you know, paddling on the boundary waters, or someone who paddles a canoe for multiple hours a day. Hi everybody, thanks for coming by and just checking out the Sawyer station. We're located right in downtown Gold Hill, and we have endless supply of river ready packages, about everything you need to get out on the water and float the river or go on a whitewater kayak trip or stand-up paddleboard trip. And we are right off of I-5, so if you're traveling I-5 in the next 6 months or a year, stop in at Sawyer Station, check out what we've got, and we'll see you on the river.